Lunchtime. Some cranberry. What you doing? Huh? Giggity? Okay. I got the sway bar here that we're gonna go ahead and mount up in my truck. Let's see how this goes. We might not need to get extended links for it. Let's see. Trying to see where I want to hang this sway bar. I think I'm going to go for this one hole right here. Guy's starting up his Chevy. Sounds like me starting my other Ford. So I can hear you already in the comment section. Why are you putting a sway bar on it? Because I mostly drive this on road and I want to give the suspension a little bit more stiffness. I want a little bit more stability control. You know, conveniently, there's two holes drilled right here. And if we turn this link around, it would line up right there. Or you can tweak it over a little bit. I think we will have to get extended links for it, because the way my axle's sitting right now, it's about 6 inches down this way than normal. I think my link used to be bolted up right there. I'm wondering if we can turn this around and then have, if this comes over a couple inches, we would be able to get a mount for right here. I want to measure this out and see if it's the same as the shock mounts that we tried to get out in the junkyard video. If that bolt pattern's the same, then I'll just get some more tools and go back and get those. And then we can basically just use these factory links and it will just bolt right up. We can use factory parts. I think what I'm going to do is actually go get the bracket hardware, the bracketry, and we'll hang it on the axle first. It locks into these little tabs here, so let's go get that. Well, it's pretty apparent which one's which, because on the brackets, the locating slots, one's round and one is actually like I don't know, oblong or whatever. I don't know shit. Something like that. And then I'm just going to set it up exactly how it was set up from the junkyard truck. It's angled like that. It's like, okay, I think it's running. There's no way it will reach. Someone's mad at their Chevy. Like, oh damn it! She just won't stay running! So is there a way we can... We can't... Our best bet would be to get some kind of mount. I think there's on some factory four-wheel drive trucks that have a slight lift from factory, or just four-wheel drive trucks in general, I think they mount right here because they sit higher. So I think there's actually a mount right here, and I would like to get that. It's like, or we could, I don't know, think could probably make our own, or just buy something and then, you know, see if it'll work. Because this is going to want to sit right here, and then you'll probably just move this link over, probably be like that. I don't know if you can see it, but right here are two holes, and I think this is where brackets would be installed. It's 3 inches and it measures the same on the other side. I'll put my link right up there. This one will match up, yeah. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go measure the lower shock brackets on a TTB axle. If the bolt holes are 3 inches apart, I can get brand new ones from Jeff's Bronco Graveyard. They're 18 bucks each. I was having a hell of a time getting them from the junkyard. We could almost rob them off the 85 there, because right where, yeah, you guys, this is blocking your way, but I'm sorry, but right where this bracket that I'm thinking of can go puts the sway bar at the right angle, and we're using the factory length links. We're not having to get longer links and having issues, possibly have issues. But let's see if that'll actually come off. I might have to get vice grips to hold this. Let's see. That's a 14. Yeah, and you can get extended links. They still sell them for these trucks, but it's 70 bucks. And if I can just put a bracket in here and just put new bushings in here, let's do that, you know? I like to clean those threads up really good. Yeah, it's a little bent. A little. Yeah, those bushings are toast. Like I said, you know, having sway bars are nice for handling and stuff, but you can catch them on something if you're going off-road. That's why most people remove them. I want it because I want to have a little better handling. Plus I do tow from time to time, and it's nice to have that little extra control. Of course, I don't have any trailers, and it's not very important yet, but you know, general driving is also important too, to have handling. Anyways, I'm just kind of incoherently rambling. So this was like that. So yeah, we can do something like that. Let's go measure that. Well, I'll go measure it, the brackets on the other truck there, and I'll let you know with what I find. All right, so I just measured this out. I think this is gonna work. So that lower shock bracket there, the bolt holes are about 3 inches apart. So I think what I'm gonna do is get on Jeff Bronco Graveyard and order 2 brackets, and then probably get a bushing kit for those links. I haven't used the hydraulic press. I want to see if we can push on that and flatten it back up. Look, it's just like new. Woo, Yahtzee! We're going to put anti-roll bars in it. For right now, we're working on the rear. This is a setup I got from the junkyard. It's from like a extended cab, long bed bullnose, but it's just a 7/8 standard factory sway bar. And so, because my truck's lifted about 5.5 inches in the back, there's a little problem with using these factory links. You can get extended links, and it's like $80, $100 for a kit. I just didn't want to spend that. For half of that, I got a whole bushing kit, which I needed anyways. This is an energy suspension kit. Comes with the links, the bar bushing, and I ordered, these are actually the front shock mounts, lower shock mounts for a TTB axle. And the bolt holes here don't quite line up with some holes that are on the frame, but we're just gonna use one and then drill the other out. So I should have to drill like 2 holes. That's what it looked like anyways, but we'll mess around with that here in a minute. So that's how we're gonna attach our sway bar link on the upper hand. The one thing I noticed with this is, even with all the bushings and stuff in, there's just a little bit of play on the side, and I want these links to be kind of sandwiched in there pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'll take the rounded edges of these washers. These are like 1/2 inch washers. We'll put them right in here, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a bushing in here, or a pin. Excuse me, this sleeve. We'll put the sleeve in there, and this fits perfectly in here with these 2 washers. And then we'll bolt it down. And I'm going to take my welder and I'm just going to put a tack here, just tack them in. That way you're not having to shuffle these around. So they'll be like that. So we got to do 2 of these. We'll do that here in a moment. But yeah, I'm going to use these big beefy. I mean, these things are thicker than the frame of my truck, which is kind of sad. Okay, there we go. Let's get that off. We'll need that. One off there. Okay, I had this. I was taking a picture. Okay, leave me alone. Shut that right there. So these factory bushings here, we have to cut off. I measured 7/8 on this, so it better still be 7/8. Watch it be wrong. And that. Okay. Watch your eyes, tubes. Woo! Smoking! I only nicked the bar a couple times. You want to be careful not to do that a whole lot. Come on, get out of there. Yeah. Here we go. I'm gonna turn this fan up a little bit. Over torqued it. Stinky. Someone asked me, what's my obsession with bushing? I have a scar in my head from the Lincoln. I don't know if Ford ever lubes these up from the factory, but when we put these kits on, this is going to be a bitch to get on, by the way. We always put lube on them. I need to get some, I think J.R. Thompson said, you need to get some emery cloth. You're right. I do. Oh. Fucking cooler scared the shit out of me. Yeah, just keep falling. That's pretty smooth. Except for this one burr right here. I keep missing it too, it's pissing me off. That feels pretty good. I just want it to be kind of smooth. I don't want it to be rough. I don't want it to be chewing bushings up. And the thing, and I got more of this stuff too. I've got like, I think I do anyways. I have 2 tubs of this kind of stuff. So I'm gonna put another glove on because I just don't want to get it on my hands. Okay, let's see. Wow, this is going to be very difficult. I'm going to have to do something like this. Watch out, it bites a little bit. No, you don't you fall off that bench. Yeah. And then you get the bushing on there, or the clamp, and it just will lock that sumbitch in there right like that. There. I'm just putting like 3 stripes on it. Maybe 4. Screw it. Still got a lot of that stuff left. They probably, well, I have to look in the instructions. Oh, we got to use some of it for these guys. So never mind. Forget what Jimmy was saying. Yeah, so what we want to do here is we're going to take a little bit of lube and we're just going to kind of coat it like this. And just do something like that. That'll lube it up, keep it from rusting, keep it from pitting and all that kind of crap. Squeaking. Yeah, let's spray this on there. And I like to twist it while putting it in. Okay, that sounded wrong. I'm going to put a little bit on the first part of the pin here because it'll just smear. And just shove her on in like that. Yeah, buddy. And then we'll wipe off the excess. You know, people have told me, you know, Jimmy, polyurethane and stuff squeaks a lot, and I've had rubber squeak more than polyurethane. So, like the Lincoln was like that. I put new rubber bushings up top. Because, you know, I went through that ordeal of putting new bushings in, and the kit I got, only the lower bushings fit. Those did not squeak at all because I had them lubed up properly with the stuff that Energy Suspension supplies. The rubber bushings up top can turn on the rubber bushing, which I actually don't think was right, but they were able to do it. Those squeaked. Not while you were driving, but if you bounced it pretty good, it would squeak. I've never had a problem with these squeaking. I've got them in the Energy Suspension kit in the back of my pickup. You guys probably would never have known, because it doesn't squeak. I didn't even lube them up either. Well, actually, I think I lubed up the pin, but I didn't lube up the outer part. I didn't want the leaf spring turning on the bushing. I wanted the bushing to turn on the pin, or the guy there, whatever you want to call it. When you turn this, it kind of sucks it all in. And you're left with something like that. Well, this is working out exactly how I planned. We don't need to bend these, because if we bend these, it'll screw it up. But check this out. Bushings are pretty much neutral, and we're at ride height. This is how the truck always sits. This side there's one hole I'm able to reuse. I will have to drill another hole, and then I can get that bracket on there, and then I'll put my washers in there. I might actually just put 2 washers on one side and then leave that be, because this kind of wants to sit over to the side here, so that'll be fine. I'll just put 2 washers on one side to space it. So there's this little lip right here. This is fine on this side, but that side I had to do something that some people aren't going to like, and I'm not even going to bother showing that. But basically that lip, you can do a couple things. You can do what I did, and I actually just cut it, heat and bend over, and then where that rest of that cut is, I'm actually going to weld that up so it doesn't go any further. But you flatten that out, or you could cut it out and then weld it in a new piece when you put it in here. But I'm flattening out, I'm going to bolt it in, but just wherever there's a cut, I'm going to weld it up to close it off, so it doesn't try and open up and, you know, ruin the whole frame. So that's the one side. If you're going to do it like this, that's the one thing you'll have to do on that side. Like I said, I don't want to do extended links. I wanted to run, see what I'm worried about is, you know, my right height's kind of a custom right height. It's not like a 6-inch, a 5-inch. It's like somewhere in between. And I don't want to get some extended link kit and find out that my bushings are going to be always cocked at an angle. You know, doing this building stuff, I want to make it so bushings and stuff like that are not all screwed up at, you know, right height. I want them to be neutral at right height so they last a long time. So these will last a long time like that. And then this, yeah, this is perfect. We'll put 2 washers on the side there, and then shoot. Yeah, so I gotta drill a hole on this side. I'll get this side bolted up, and then I gotta see. I think I should have 3 more bolts. Let's see, I've got 2 so far. I need 2 more. I'll have to dig around. I know I got some. I had from that failed seat swap thing I did. I got a bunch of extra bolts and stuff. These e-brake cables, when I put new ones in, I'm probably gonna do something different with them, but these might actually still work like that. It won't be in the way too much. So there's 2 holes in the frame here that are already there. I'm utilizing those so I can bolt this up. So 1 hole is fine. We'll just drill another on the other side, and then when I flatten that, I'm gonna show it to you anyways. You're gonna hate it. I get that link there to sit flat, and then I'll drill a hole and then bolt that up, and then I'll probably run to the hardware store and get some new nylocks for this, and then we'll snug these up and oh shit. We'll go for a little test drive. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be great. And of course, big loud truck going by. All right, unpopular truck install. Anti-roll bar. You almost can't even tell it's there. Yep, it's got everything sitting normal. Bushings are relaxed. Well, they got tension on them. So on the end links there, I put 8 in each side. I tightened that until I got 8 threads on each side. It felt pretty snug after that. Brackets are pretty well snug on the axle there. Don't want to go any tighter, probably snap the U-bolt. Upper mount is all locked down. That worked out pretty good. That worked out better than I thought. So far they look pretty even. I mean, you know, I use that 1 hole as the 1 hole farthest this way I use as my starting point. And then putting the brackets up in there, I just got the links situated so that the bushings and everything just sat. We're happy. They weren't at an angle. They weren't tweaked. Nothing goofy. Oh. Seen that car race up and down the road a few times. Big surprise. It's all wrecked now. Anyways, let's go for a little test drive. I want to try this out. Let's see. Which way should we go? Well, let's do a little blip around town. Clunk. tad bit sharper. Don't pull me over, officer, for I got beer balls in the back of the car. Pull me over. I don't have a front license plate. Oh, now you gotta. Body roll. We get that bar up front, this will be really nice. Alright guys, let's review this truck, especially for you new YouTubers that have just subscribed. This is my 1982 F-150. It started out as a two-wheel drive gasoline truck. Originally from the factory it had a 302, but someone put a 351 in it, which didn't really work all that great for me, as you can tell. So I've done a lot of stuff to this truck. I've got a Cummins 4BT, which I'll show you here in a second. I've got a Dana 44 straight axle. And yeah, I got a few leaks here and there. I got a power steering leak, an oil leak. There's water from, oh, that was from when we drove through that puddle. Yeah, and it did have a Ford 9-inch in the back, but I rebuilt an 8.8 with a limited slip and 410s and heavy duty axle shafts and put that back there. I put that back there because I felt like, you know, getting parts were a little bit cheaper, and getting lockers and stuff like that, they were more readily available. And you know, it still has a pretty good axle. And I've been enjoying it so far. I haven't had any problems with it. Getting a little bit better fuel economy, mostly with the gears. And I'm able to put that sway bar on like I've been wanting to very easily. I forgot that was one thing I wanted to do, was be able to put that sway bar on. That's why people were asking me like, oh, why are you going away from the 8.8 or the 9-inch, Jerry? Next, I'd like to get that, front sway bar kit for this. That would be pretty nice. It's got a M50D 5-speed that me and a friend rebuilt probably 4 years ago. And it's been a pretty good transmission. I mean, I've really put it through its paces, and I'll give this engine full throttle when I'm taking off sometimes, and I haven't popped a gear yet. So, but that transmission's been pretty good. I originally wanted to get a ZF5 for it, but finding a ZF5, it's just too much of a hassle. And an M50D, you can make work. You're just not going to have granny gear and all that stuff, which kind of sucks. It would be nice to have granny gear. But I've got everything that people hate in a truck. Straight axle instead of, TTB. There are a bunch of people out there that are like really about TTB, and honestly, I kind of like the way that rides with the solid axle. I like the way TTB rides too, but I like also the fact that, your steering's not constantly changing when you're going down the road. I got the M50D 5-speed. I've got the 8.8. I got the 4BT Cummins. Not an International, not a not gonna starty guy. None of that crap. I wanted to like the IDI, but I don't know. I haven't found the right one yet. Here's another thing people hate that I got and I love, and it works really well. I got a Bluetooth radio in here. No way! None of this old crap that you have to tune every time you hit a bump down the road. Yeah. That's the truck. So sometime I'm gonna get some more materials. I'm actually looking to get a different welder. I've just got other things going on that I'm working on, taken care of. We really need to get the front axle re-geared and get a locker in there, and that I'm working out the details on that. I need to finish drilling holes for this and get this mounted to the side of the frame. So that's something else that'll be coming up. But yeah, I'm just looking at getting a couple different tools. I really want to get a plasma cutter, and I want to get a 220 welder so I can burn this stuff in a little bit easier and better, lay a little bit thicker weld. Yeah, I think these will be okay. We have yet to try those out, see if those break off. But yeah, let's go home. Maybe we'll, I'm thinking about it, maybe we'll go bum around the woods.